Been waiting too long. Uniswap. I know I've talked about it in other videos, but we need to continue talking about Uniswap. All right, so let's get into it. Currently has $12 billion market cap. Current price is $23.97 with $328 million trading volume. Now, the beauty of Uniswap, I know a lot of you have heard of this, is actually completely decentralized. It's the original long-standing decentralized exchange that kind of got everything else started. On Coinbase, for example, they actually own your reserve. Here, you're taking your private keys. You actually own your private keys, making the swap in a decentralized way through various smart contracts, and then they're providing you back with the token you swapped it for in a completely decentralized with no human intervention process. This is super important, and I have to really hit that home, okay? Uniswap's really cool because they have a couple of features. Obviously, they have the swapping feature, but they also have a liquidity provision feature. If I click Uniswap and we come over here to pool, you could provide liquidity on Uniswap. You can say, hey, I'm going to give USDC and ETH to Uniswap. You can use that USDC and ETH, and they actually get paid fees for doing so. If you're a liquidity provider or LP provider, there's a 0.3% fee for swapping tokens, okay? This fee is actually split by the liquidity providers themselves in proportion to their contribution to the liquidity reserves. It's time for the next coin. Let's talk about Polygon, or previously known as Matic. Polygon's really fast. It's so quick that you could probably swap out your wife. Okay, that was a bad joke. But seriously, it's just like Uniswap, okay? But it's a scaling solution, and they have something called Quick Swap that's identical to Uniswap, where it's very fast, very cheap. It actually allows me to do something called, I call it yield swing trading. I make a swing trade and then throw it into a liquidity pool, get yield on that swing trade. And if I want to exit, I can exit for a very cheap amount. With this whole DeFi craze, now they're all running to Matic for that reason, right? And Polygon. They're running to Polygon because of how cheap it is to get into liquidity pools and out of liquidity pools. With Polygon, it's very user focused, right? They have about 350 plus dApps, and the user experience is very quick. I'm talking about one click in some cases to bridge over from a different blockchain all the way to Polygon. Also, I think it's very smart that they're using Ethereum, okay? They're just solely sticking to Ethereum. They just want to make Ethereum more scalable, which is really smart because, like we just talked about, Uniswap has all the liquidity. ERC20 tokens, all the liquidity is on Ethereum, 99% of it, okay? I don't care about Binance Smart Chain. They don't really have infrastructure. They're centralized. People can take advantage of that centralization. On Ethereum, it's more decentralized. It's more assure, there's more developers, there's more liquidity. So Polygon's basically attaching itself to Ethereum as a layer 2 scaling solution. Right now with proof of stake, they plan out coming with more scaling layer 2 solutions like optimistic rollups, just like Arbitrum. They plan on coming out with that. They plan on coming out with ZK rollups, the whole 9 yards. Home to the last cryptocurrency, which I think is big time right now. Let's talk about ICP. So as crypto is getting bigger and bigger, there's going to be more of a push to the decentralization of the internet itself. Now, Ethereum is more like an application platform right now where you can make decentralized apps on Ethereum. ICP is trying to be the back end layer protocol for the internet itself. The internet computer, or ICP, is looking to lay the groundwork for a decentralized internet with infinite scalability. Much of the current infrastructure used by computer startups and even some blockchain services rely on big tech companies right now. So that this is like, for example, Google and enterprise tech to basically get servers or, information, data, caches, firewalls. Pretty much everything comes from these big centralized entities. So they're trying to decentralize it. ICP basically, just to give you a brief breakdown, they're challenging legacy IC stacks by allowing users to actually host their own code directly to the public internet with an unstoppable domain or tamper-proof environment. Web 3.0 is coming, and there's really no stopping it with this right here. You do not need to go to Google or any other domain service or any other centralized legacy system to upload to the internet, which is astronomically crazy big. Okay, a lot of even some of these decentralized apps uses like Amazon Web Services to deploy their app. How decentralized can your app be if you're using Amazon Web Services to deploy your app? This is where the whole entire game changes in its complete entirety. ICP is huge. Let's talk about one of the big innovations of ICP, which is the Network Nervous System Overview. Okay, the network system, or NNS, is a tokenized open governance system that is responsible for managing the internet computer. For example, it stores information about which nodes belong to which subnet. It also makes decisions about how to update this information, right? So it basically, instead of Google telling you, there's an actual decentralized governance protocol that tells you. The NNS basically takes like the nodes and independent information and connects it all to the blockchain in a decentralized way. So like Google, for example, can't use the data before anybody else, and they don't have to be an intermediary to take advantage. And they actually create, through this information, something called subnets, which is a layer upon a smart contract called a canister. And this is what this actual document is going over. You can read into it a little bit more for yourself. But when the canisters are actually deployed, depending on the demands of the hosted canisters, the NNS can continuously make things called subnets to handle the demands of the canisters to make this thing possible.